attired styles and ways.
Adding to that, the Pantero tambourines without the skin bring the purity of the Dalada procession into the minds of the people as they step across the promenade. The sound of the Pantero too is synonymous with the Kandy Esala Perahera tradition.
And Sachin, is something else we hear in addition to the sound of the Pantheru are the unique chants of these Pantheru dancers. And these rituals, these songs are from rituals from Suvisi Vivarana and Sat Satya, which are traditional Pantheru dance rituals.
We can see these dancers carrying Pantheru in one hand while using the other hand for their dancing movements. It is actually a fabulous sight to see.
It is only in the hill capital, Kandy, that we are able to witness this Pantheru dance in its most authentic and purest forms. And did you know, Sachini, that these Pantheru dancers performed these acts or the Pantheru dance during ancient times to celebrate victories in the battlefield?
Yes, Rajiv, I think there's a lot to learn when it comes to a perahera like this, and also it is to be noted that this instrument is regular to the Kavikara Maduva or chanting groups of the procession. The ring is a circlet of light brass. And now we see another two tuskers adding color, adding glamour to this first Randoli Procession.
Indeed, Sachini, the approach of two tuskers simply signifies that the Perahera casket is approaching. And these two tuskers who are carrying officials with Burmese flags are Singharaja and Burumaraja, who belongs to the stable of the Sri Dalada Maligawa.
This again symbolizes the impact and the close connection Sri Lanka had with Burma. And these flags add to the diversity, the already existing diversity of this Esala procession.
Both Singharaja and Burumaraja have been very useful tuskers to the Sri Dalada Perahera in their roles of playing accompanying tuskers to the royal tusker.
And this is yet another prominent performances in the entire procession. This is the first troupe of West dancers that we see in the Dalada procession. In fact, the first Randoli Procession today, led by Ishanta Ihalavela and Lasantha Vansekara.
Indeed, one of the most unique and most recognized dancing forms in the Sri Lankan artistry. The West dance is more than just a ritual. It is a sacred recitation for protection against misfortune. And therefore, this elaborate costume they wear is also considered sacred.
It could be said that the Kandian dancer's skill and dance form have been brought to the national consciousness by the Dalada Perahera alone. In ancient times, these dancers obtained a royal boon after having donned their Vestatua and danced for the king of Panduvasnuvara to dispel unseen inimical forces that threatened his life.
Indeed, in fact, the roots of this dance art lies in the ancient village ritual known as the Kohomba Kankarya, and this is an important folk ritual of the Kandian kingdom. There is something insanely thrilling in the movements of these West dancers. And right now, as you can see, they perform calm and composed salutary gestures using their hands. For that is a way of showing respect and veneration to the sacred Dalada tooth relic.
And they consider it a great opportunity to perform right in front of the sacred relic casket. And they consider it a great And now we see the Karya Korale, who is the second in command of the Devadana Nilame, and it is a heritage procession given by royal decree. And the Karya Korale, dressed in royal white, is the foremost observer of the Dalada Perahera.
Karya Koral observes whether or not the complex and unique rituals and devotions associated with the Dalada Procession are conducted in accordance to its decrees, and orders that have been previously associated with the Dalada Procession are conducted in accordance to its decrees.
We see the most awaited moment of the entire procession. The ceremonial display lavishly adorned in golden costumes, walk in majestic way of carrying the sacred casket. The ceremony accompanied by the lavishly adorned in this tusker who is fortunate to carry the sacred casket today is the tusker Vasana.
Vasana is a tusker belonging to the historic Ruhunumaha Kataragama Devalaya, and today Vasana is accompanied by Miyan Raja belonging to the Sri Dalada Maligawa stables, alongside with Kandula belonging to Venerable Kollupitiye Mahinda Sangarakita Thero, the chief incumbent of the historic Kalaniya Rajamahaviharaya.
And we now see the chamber of versifiers of Sri Dalada Maligawa chanting hymns in praise of Lord Buddha as well as the sacred Dalada tooth relic.
Indeed, and we see them with a silver udakya, a silver pantheru, and a silver castanet, which are instruments donated to them by the king at the time.
And we see officials carrying flowers as well as lamps, oil lamps, in veneration to the sacred relic. I think the first Randoli today is a very important as well as a very unique Perahera procession, because so many elements that we didn't saw in the previous Kumbal Peraheras, Kumbal processions, can be seen in today's first Randoli.
Indeed, a lot of symbolism we see here, and adding to what you just said, Flowers are something that Buddhists offer to Lord Buddha on a daily basis. And this shows the close connection. And I'm sure many of our viewers who are witnessing this first Randoli procession can actually relate and understand the symbolism, the purity, the veneration and the respect that these dancers and these artists carry on their shoulders as they take part in this first Randoli procession.
Up next, we are about to see the second group of West dancers in the Dalada procession today. And this troupe is led by Sanjeeva Verapitiya and Peter Surasena.
The glamorous costume symbolically represents the regalia of the Malay king. The royal brothers who performed the ancient ritual Hatapas Mangalya 2500 years ago. This reflects the culture and heritage that this procession, this Dalada procession contains and entails. And this is the Naruma Trava performed by these West dancers, a style that was introduced to the Kandian dancing by the great Guru Nitta Velugunaya. He was once our nation's most renowned traditional dancers back in 1940s and 1950s.
As he mentioned earlier as well, a West dancer considers it a great honor to perform in front of the sacred relic casket as well as the Honorable Devadananinathai. I think these clans, these hereditary clans are fortunate enough to perform that task in today's Randoli Perahera as well.
Indeed, and that great honor comes with much practice, dedication and skill. For these West dancers with this iconic headgear is symbolic of the highest epitome a dancer can achieve in the Kandian dancing heritage.
It's truly an eye-catching sight to see how these elders, seniors from these clans perform together with their juniors who are about to take their clan heritage to the future as well. Seniors from these clans perform
The two
together with their
paramparas
juniors.
leading these dancers are the Verapitiya and Surapiniya